Bella Vista's banquet hall shimmered under crystal chandeliers, white roses cascading from centerpieces like diamonds in the evening glow. James Collins, 58, moved through the wedding crowd, a silver tray of champagne flutes steady in his waiters. Hands, his black vest and bow tie rendering him invisible until now. Moments ago, a guest's exclamation, "My God, he's on TV?" had shattered the room's rhythm, revealing James as a former movie star, his face flickering on a retro film above the bar. Michael Thompson, his son-in-law, had dropped his champagne glass, his earlier toast, "He's just a waiter now," a cruel echo as guests applauded James' dignity. Sophia, 28, James' daughter, glowed in her wedding dress, tears of pride replacing shame. The weight of Michael's contempt, hurled on his $2.3 million terrace weeks ago, lifted as James poured coffee at the bar. Frank Morgan's words, "Your films are cult classics," still ringing got in Haven's Edge. James' modest apartment held photos of Sophia's milestones, graduation, birthdays funded by $200,000 in double shifts at Bella Vista. His father's gold pocket watch, dismissed by Michael as a collector's trinket, sat on his kitchen table, a symbol of family over fame. Michael's apology at the head table I was wrong. James is a man of character had shifted the room's energy, guests toasting James' sacrifice. But as James cleared plates, a new figure emerged, Victor Crane, a tech mogul and Michael's rival, his smile sharp. "Impressive performance, Collins," Crane said, his voice low. "I've got your last script. It's worth something." James' pulse quickened. His final film, Atlantic Crossing, had a missing script tied to a studio scandal he'd buried. For Sophia's sake, was Crane fishing? James met Antonio, his boss and friend of 20 years, in the kitchen, its stainless steel a contrast to the hall's opulence. Antonio, slicing lemons, eyed Crane's card, slipped to James. "He's trouble," Antonio said. "Michael crossed him on a deal." James recalled Michael's terrorist threat. "My guests are CEOs, senators, and Crane's presence clicked." Leverage. Sophia joined him, her veil trailing. "Dad, Michael's sorry. He wants you at our table." James hugged her, his waiter's vest creased. "I'm here, sweetheart." Ellen Cross, a carpenter volunteering at the Lily and Jace. Foundation, texted. "Crane sniffing around your old films. Be careful." Juniper, Ellen's daughter, 10, added a sketch James in a spotlight, Sophia beside him. James' chest tightened. His past was no longer invisible. Crane's move came fast. A blog post hit during dessert. Wedding waiter secret. Past haunts Thompson's elite. It hinted at James' abrupt exit from acting, alleging studio debts. Guests whispered, phones glowing with searches. Michael, at the head table, paled, his apology fresh but fragile. James served cake, his hands steady, but Crane's words, "It's worth something," echoed. Leela, a librarian and ex-lawyer from the Foundation, joined James at the bar. "Crane's firm bought old studio archives," she said. "The script's tied to a $5 million lawsuit you settled quietly." James' jaw clenched. He'd paid $50,000 to silence a producer's fraud, protecting Sophia's childhood. "He wants to hurt Michael through me," James said. Lila nodded. "Expose the truth, you neuter him." James planned a speech to clear his name, inviting press and foundation donors to the reception's close. Juniper's sketches James. And Sophia, a watch glowing, were posted online, going viral. Honor James, but doubt crept in. His acting days, 7 films from 1988 to 1995, a Golden Globe nod, had ended for Sophia's stability. At the bar, Frank Morgan, his old co-star, clapped his shoulder. "They want you for a documentary, James. Your comeback's waiting." James poured coffee, smiling faintly. "My stage is here." Sophia approached, Michael beside her, his eyes softer. "Join us, Dad," she said. Michael added, "Please." James set down his tray, but Crane's card burned in his pocket. "Call me, or I leak the script." The reception pulsed, guests dancing under chandeliers. James stood with Sophia, her hand in his, as Michael raised a new toast. "To James, a father who taught us worth." Applause roared. Cameras flashed. Crane lingered by the bar, his smile cold. James whispered to Lila, "Find the scripts." "Buyer," she nodded, texting Ellen. "Check Crane's firm." A new post hit. Collins' secret deal threatens Thompson's merger. Michael's face tightened. His $200,000 wedding was now a battlefield. James stepped forward, voice clear. "I'm a waiter, a father, and proud of both." The crowd cheered, but Crane's eyes narrowed. Antonio spoke. "James is ours." A text from Ellen. Scripts. "With Crane's lawyer. It's clean, no debt." James' heart steadied. His truth, Sophia's love, was his shield against any shadow. Haven's Edge glowed under a late summer dusk, its oak-lined streets a quiet contrast to the city's glass towers, where Victor Crane's tech empire loomed. James Collins, 58, stood in his modest apartment, the gold pocket watch from his father, resting beside Sophia's childhood photos, each frame a testament to $200,000 in double shifts at Bella Vista. A week after Sophia's wedding, where James passed as a movie star was revealed, sparked by a guest's cry, "He's on TV." Michael's apology had shifted their bond, but Crane's threat lingered. His blog post, "Wedding Waiter's Secret Past," hinted at a lost script from James' final film, Atlantic Crossing. Tied to a $5 million studio lawsuit, James had settled quietly for $50,000 to protect Sophia. Crane's card call me, or I leak burned. In James' pocket. Now a new post hit. Collins' hidden debt threatens Thompson merger. James' heart sank. Crane aimed to ruin Michael's $10 million deal, to spite him out at Bella Vista. James met Antonio, his boss and friend of 20 years, in the kitchen, its stainless steel gleaming. Antonio, chopping garlic, eyed Crane's latest post on his phone. "He's after Michael's merger," Antonio said. "You're the leverage." James nodded, recalling Crane's sharp smile at the wedding. "It's worth something." Sophia arrived, her wedding glow softened by worry. "Dad, Michael's meeting investors tomorrow. Crane's rumors are spooking them." Michael followed, his suit less crisp, his eyes earnest. "James, I was wrong about you. Help me fix this." James gripped his father's watch. His acting days 7 films, a Golden Globe nod, were a shadow he'd buried for Sophia. "We'll stop Crane," he said. Ellen Cross, the carpenter, texted. "Found a script buyer. It's Crane's lawyer, Holt." Juniper, Ellen's daughter, Penn, sent a sketch James in a spotlight, Sophia holding his hand. Lila, the ex-lawyer librarian from the Lily and Jace Foundation, met them in her book-lined office. "The scripts." "With Holt," Lila said, pulling records. "It contains a letter from Elise Wellingham, your co-star." She exposed studio fraud, fake budgets, tax evasion. James' throat tightened. Elise, his friend, had died after Atlantic Crossing her. Charity affront for whistleblowing. "I paid to silence it," James said, "for Sophia's future." Leela nodded. "Crane wants the letter to smear you, tank Michael's deal." James planned a community event to reveal the truth, inviting press, donors, and Crane's investors. Juniper sketches James and Sophia, a watch glowing spread online. Truth for James, but doubt hit. His sacrifice had cost fame, nearly Sophia. At home, Sophia hugged him. "You're enough, Dad," Michael added. "We're family." Cranes. Next move struck hard. A city article screamed, "Collins Past Risks Thompson Empire." Holt filed a lawsuit, claiming James owed $100,000 in studio debts, threatening to seize his apartment. Locals whispered. The foundation's permits stalled. Sophia faced questions at her law firm, Crane's allies sowing doubt. "Is your dad a fraud?" a colleague asked. Sophia called James, voice shaky. "I believe in you." James drove to the city, Sophia beside him, to confront Holt at her firm. A clerk revealed, Holt bought the script for $20,000. It's clean, but the letter names Crane's early investors in the fraud. James' jaw clenched. Crane wasn't just after Michael, he feared James' truth. Ellen texted, "Found Elise's partner, Clara Voss. She has the original letter." Holt escalated, sending a cease and desist to the foundation, alleging James' misrepresentation. James rallied his team: Antonio, Ellen, Juniper, Lila, and Sam, a foundation teacher at Bella Vista's backroom. They posted online, "James' honor." Juniper's sketches went viral, James holding the watch, Sophia smiling. Comments roared, "He's ours." Crane appeared at the restaurant, his smile venomous. "Drop this, Collins, or I'll bury you." James stood firm. Truth doesn't hide. The community event filled Haven's Edge Square, 700 under lanterns. James spoke, Sophia and Michael beside him. "I gave up fame for family. Crane's lies won't change that." Layla showed Holt's filings, proving Crane's fraud ties. The crowd cheered. Investors pulled from Crane's firm. Juniper handed out sketches James free. A new threat landed, an email from Holt. "The letter destroys you." James showed Antonio, who said, "They're scared." Voss called, her voice steady. "Elise's letter clears you," names Crane's backers. James' heart steadied. His waiter's vest, once armor, was now pride. At Bella Vista, Frank Morgan, his old co-star, arrived. "The documentary's greenlit, James. Your story's gold." James poured coffee, smiling. "My story's here." Sophia hugged him. "You're my hero." Michael shook his hand. "Our hero." The square glowed, Crane's lies fading. But James knew Holt's next move would test his resolve, his past, and the family he'd fought to keep. Haven's Edge sparkled under an autumn dawn, its oak-lined streets draped in golden leaves. A quiet haven against the city's glass towers where Victor Crane's tech empire crumbled. James Collins, 58, stood in Bella Vista's empty dining room, his father's gold pocket watch gleaming beside a photo of Sophia, 28, at her wedding, where his past as a movie star was revealed, sparked by a guest's shout, "He's on TV." 3 weeks after Michael's apology for his contempt, "He's just a waiter," and Crane's threat to leak a lost script from Atlantic Crossing to ruin Michael's $10 million merger, James held Elise Wellingham's letter, found with the script. It named Crane's early investors in a $5 million studio fraud. James had settled for $50,000 to shield Sophia. Crane's latest lawsuit, filed by his lawyer Holt, claimed James owed $100,000 in debts, threatening his home. James' hands, steady from years of serving, gripped the watch. His truth would end this dot at the Lily and Jace Foundation. James met Antonio, his boss of 20 years, Ellen Cross, the carpenter, and Juniper, her daughter 10, in a cozy office. Antonio, polishing glasses, eyed the letter. "Crane's desperate," he said. "You've got him cornered." Juniper handed James a sketch him holding Sophia, a spotlight fading. "You're her star," she said. James' chest tightened. His $200,000 in double shifts had funded Sophia's Berkeley degree, not fame. Lila, the ex-lawyer librarian, joined, pulling Holt's filings. "The letter clears you," Lila said. "Crane's investors are named in Elise's charity records, tied to tax evasion." James planned a public forum in Haven's Edge Square, inviting press, donors, and Michael's investors. Sophia and Michael arrived, hand in hand. "Dad, we're with you," Sophia said. Michael nodded. "Family first." James smiled. His waiter's vest was now pride. Crane's final strike hit fast. A headline screamed, "Collins Fraud Sinks Thompson Deal." Holt filed an injunction to seize James' apartment, alleging hidden assets. The foundation's permits were revoked, Crane's allies claiming fraud ties. Sophia faced whispers at her law firm. Clients hesitated. "Is your dad a liar?" a partner asked. Sophia called James, voice firm. "I trust you." James drove to the city, Sophia and Michael beside him, to meet Clara Voss, Elise's partner, at a diner smelling of coffee. Voss, 60, handed over Elise's original charity logs. "Crane funded the studio's fake budgets," she said. "Elise died protecting this." James' throat tightened. His silence had honored Elise, but now it had to break. Ellen texted, "Towns raised $15,000 for your defense." Juniper's sketches are everywhere. Holt doubled down, leaking a doctored script excerpt online, claiming James stole studio funds. Haven's Edge rallied 800 posted James truth. Juniper sketches James with the watch. Sophia smiling went viral. Crane appeared at Bella Vista, his smile venomous. "Settle, Collins, or lose everything." James stood tall. "I've already won." The forum filled the square, 1,000 under twinkling lights. James spoke, Sophia and Michael beside him. "I chose family over fame. Crane's lies can't change that." Lila projected Elise's letter, naming Crane's investors in the fraud. The crowd roared. Michael's investors pledged $2 million. Holt, watching, paled. Juniper handed out sketches James free. Antonio spoke. "He's ours." Frank Morgan, James' co-star, clapped from the crowd. "Your story's a film." James. The hearing loomed. Haven's Edge courthouse packed with 900. James. Sophia and Michael entered, Juniper clutching her crayons. Holt presented evidence, forged studio contracts, claiming James owed $150,000. James stood, the letter in hand. "This is Elise Wellingham's truth," he said, voice clear. "Crane's fraud cost her life." Lila submitted the logs, proving Crane's ties. The judge, stern but fair, reviewed them. Crane's face drained. Holt whispered urgently. Voss testified. James protected Elise's legacy. The judge ruled. Lawsuit dismissed. Collins is clear. Cheers erupted. Crane stormed out, his firm facing federal probes. James hugged Sophia, whispering, "You're my star." Michael shook his hand. "Our family's whole." Haven's Edge celebrated, the square alive with music. The foundation's permits were restored. A new program opened. James hired Sam to lead it, Juniper's art framing the walls. Ellen built Sophia a bookcase, her hands steady. "You're home," she told James. Sophia gave him a new photo 3 figures. James, her Michael the watch central, he framed. It beside Elise's letter. Crane's firm collapsed. Holt faced ethics charges. Frank offered a documentary role. "You're a legend, James." James poured coffee at Bella Vista, smiling. "My legend's here." At a foundation reading, 1,500 attended, Sophia sharing a poem. James beside her. "We're enough," she said. James' heart, once shadowed, shown Sophia's love, his truth. Haven's Edge's heart, unbreakable against any lie. Haven's Edge glowed under a crisp winter dawn, its oak-lined streets dusted with snow, a warm contrast to the city's cold towers where Sylvia Hart's media empire cast long shadows. James Collins, 58, stood in his modest apartment, his father's. Gold pocket watch beside Sophia's wedding photo, a reminder of the $200,000 in Bella Vista shifts that funded her future. 3 months after defeating Victor Crane's lies about a lost Atlantic Crossing script, exposing his $5 million studio fraud through Elise Wellingham's letter, a new threat emerged. Sylvia Hart, a former studio executive and Crane's silent partner, launched a campaign to discredit James, alleging he fabricated Elise's evidence to steal foundation funds. A hidden journal found in James' old acting archives revealed Elise's warning: Hart's the puppet master. Guard the truth. James gripped the watch. Sophia's trust, his dignity, faced one last test at Bella Vista. James met Antonio, his friend and boss of 20 years, in the kitchen, its warmth cutting. The chill. Antonio, slicing onions, eyed Hart's latest article. Collins' lies threaten charity. She's after the foundation, he said. Crane was her front. Sophia and Michael arrived, their hands linked, faces set. Dad, Hart's targeting. My firm, Sophia said. Clients are pulling out. Michael added, she's threatening my merger's investors. James' chest tightened. His 7 films, Golden Globe nod, and Waiter's Life had built Sophia's world. Ellen Cross, the carpenter, texted, found Elise's journal in your old props box. Juniper, Ellen's daughter, 10, sent a sketch James holding Sophia, a journal glowing. You're our hero, she wrote. James planned a town hall to expose Hart, inviting press, donors, and Hart's board. Hart struck swiftly. A headline screamed, Waiter's fraud risks Haven's Edge legacy. Her lawyer, Marcus Vail, filed to seize the Lily and Jace Foundation, claiming James misled donors. Sophia's law firm suspended her, citing ethics concerns. At school, Lily faced whispers. Is your grandpa a thief? She ran to James, teary. I know you're honest. James knelt, knees aching. We'll prove it, sweetheart. Lila, the ex-lawyer librarian, joined at the foundation's office. Elise's journal names Hart as the studio's tax evasion mastermind, Lila said, pulling records. She's scared you'll expose her. James drove to the city, Sophia and Michael beside him, to find Clara Voss, Elise's partner. At a safe house, Voss, 60, handed over Elise's charity ledger. Hart siphoned $3 million through Crane, she said. The journal's proof. Vail escalated, leaking a doctored journal page online, alleging James forged Elise's words. Haven's Edge rallied 1,000 posted James' truth. Juniper sketches James with the journal. Sophia smiling went viral. Hart appeared at Bella Vista, her smile venomous. Settle, Collins, or I'll ruin you. James stood firm. Truth doesn't bend. The town hall packed Haven's Edge Square, 1,200 under twinkling lights. James spoke, Sophia and Michael beside him. I chose family over fame. Hart's lies can't erase that. Leela projected the journal, naming Hart's fraud. The crowd roared. Hart's board withdrew support. Juniper handed out sketches James, free. Antonio spoke. He's ours. Frank Morgan, James' co-star, called. The documentary's filming. You're the star. The final hearing filled the courthouse, 1,500 strong. James, Sophia, and Michael entered, Juniper clutching crayons. Vail presented evidence, fake ledger entries, claiming James stole $200,000. James stood, journal in hand. This is Elise's truth, he said, voice clear. Hart's fraud cost lives. Lila submitted the ledger, proving Hart's crimes. Voss testified. James honored Elise's fight. The judge, stern but fair, ruled. Foundations clear. Hart's claims dismissed. Cheers erupted. Hart fled, her empire facing audits. James hugged Sophia, whispering, "You're my world." Michael shook his hand. "Our world." Frank offered a film roll. "You're back, James." James smiled, pouring coffee at Bella Vista. "I'm home." Haven's Edge celebrated, the square alive with music. The foundation opened a third center, Sam leading. Juniper's art everywhere. Ellen built Lily a desk, her hands steady. "Your family," she told James. Sophia gave him a new photo 4 figures, including Elise's star. James framed it beside the journal. Hart's firm collapsed. Vale faced disbarment. At a community reading, 2,000 attended. Sophia sharing a story, James beside her. "We are enough," she said. James' heart, once shadowed, blazed Sophia's love. Elisa's truth, Haven's Edge's soul, unbreakable against any storm.